Welcome everybody to ReelwUrld's content team meeting for June 6th, 2022. And we have Mike, aka Santa Claus. We got Z, aka Berkaba. We have David, aka the wonderful creator who just got scanned this weekend for our first action figure partnership. So you can have your own action figure figurines with Doppel, D-O-P-L, which is Jim Henson's son's company, Brian Henson's company. And so it's official. You can get 20% off your Doppel by mentioning Justice for Hire. We're gonna get even more details on this like by tomorrow, because we're setting up for an event with Doppel in New York in July, and hopefully mid-August in Los Angeles. So we're getting all this together. It's new stuff, and it's a huge value add to our community, meaning that you can own a physical representation of your hero that you can put on your desk of yourself in your hero state. So hero state. Oh, that's a good like. We should use that for something. Hero state. Of course, ReelwUrld.com is where you'll find the company. We're on WeFunder, our first community round. WeFunder.com/ReelwUrld. So you can go there, and it's ReelwUrld and go there to own a piece of the company. And what we're building, essentially creating tools to empower people to tell their stories with the same level of reverence that we have for Hollywood movies and shows, even down to the merchandising of your own character, owning your stuff. It's great. And JusticeForHire.app, of course, is where all the Justice for Hire action happens. That's our first show produced with the community, 7.5 million views on TikTok and counting. And just super grateful for all the guys here, the whole team here. And the team is growing. Ragdoll will be joining us soon. Vintage will be joining us soon. I just need to get them some paperwork because I've been exhausted. I just submitted my son it's his last day of school today, and I just put out his doing post-production on his Spawn versus Fluffy Jesus animation, which is on YouTube now. So please check it out. It's 10 minutes long. It's the longest animation that he's done. And I had to do all the post-production work on it. So it's very, very intense. Which finished, I slept 2.5 hours and finished it this morning, 10 minutes before his screening. So it's great. But that being said, last week we talked about running these sessions similar to film school. And I think that there's a real value in screening this stuff, like doing a screen share. And if need be, I hope I can give you guys permission to screen share. Maybe I can do it from my end. But I think it'd be really valuable because of there's certain principles that, like, the content is amazing. Like Mike, I'm not sure if yours is the same one from last week with new subtitles. Is that it?
Was it? No, I just put it in the chat. It's been right before. So
okay, it's a new one. Let me check.
I've had some problems exporting it as a thing. First time the volume died. Second time the text went in the wrong spots. So the one I put in is the one with no volume. But it's easy enough to tweak. I'll fix it when we're done.
Okay.
So you see the basic concept of the video. It's just like 20 seconds of reusable board breaks.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm grabbing my laptop so I can do the screen share and let you guys screen share as well. Because this is, I think, one of the big things that we want to do is to be able to watch each other's stuff together and like and talk about it, because like we're always improving. I loved Guru. Like I just loved your video. It is so fun and so like. I just got asked a question today by a comic book professional. Shout out to Martell Berry. That was really wonderful. And the question was how he didn't fully see how the cinematic universe works. He gets the idea, but like, how does it work in practice when you have so many different genres, when you're genre agnostic, and some people might be doing things that are more or less grounded than others, and how do we manage that? And I think it's really important for us to clarify that unlike other social networks, we're really about guidance. Like we have to be about guidance. And if we're not doing guidance, then you're going to get what you get on other social networks, which is a hodgepodge of stuff. So like there's really two silos of guidance. One is like universe rules, which I'm sure most people have not read, which are right there in the hamburger menu. And then there's like actual like brand guidance, which is a lot of stuff that we're talking about here as a team, like by setting the stage and the standard. And so like with missions and challenges that we create, et cetera. So it's just a really great question to have to answer. And I think that along the lines of that, like we need to be taking that same approach internally and guiding each other, like a la our film school style setup here. So let me jump in, and but yeah, that's I think a great unique value proposition for us. So let me see, join my computer. Trying to avoid that. Got it. Oh no. All right. I'm leaving the meeting from here. So. Oh, great. Still recording. Phenomenal. Okay, great. All right. So let me just, anyone can share their screen. Add this. Oh, if it's easier for you guys, I can just share from here. Actually, whatever you guys would prefer. I put multiple on just in case that's an issue. So let's watch Gurus first. And did you already watch this actually?
Can you repeat that?
Was wondering if Mike and David, did you guys get to watch Gurus? Okay.
No.
Okay, cool. I'm going to play it right now. Guru, I loved it. My only note is that there is, and I'm going to do this for pacing.
Totally.
My only note is essentially like pacing on certain shots, where like there's like a general principle that I forgot how I came across this principle, but it's guided me a lot. That once the audience gets it, cut. And unless there's a secret, like if there's a secret inside the frame, but once that message is conveyed, it's done. And so, all these things I say take with a grain of salt, because it also depends on like the style you're creating, etc. But I thought that there was that it was so good. And there's a few shots. I love that you used the POV for the dog. That was like a brilliant, just a brilliant way to be able to convey that danger. And it's loading slow. Here we go. Where's our team chat? Why is it gone? For some reason on desktop, it does not always show up. I have to minimize. What do you mean minimize? General. No, maybe I need to be in general messages. All right. You know what, dude? Can you share from yours, please?
You want me to share it?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Guys, I hope you don't mind if I chew on something.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna share my screen. Oop. I didn't say play. Okay. Could you hear that?
I cannot hear it.
No, okay, so hold on, let's see the music. Hold on, let's see.
It's okay if we can't hear it though.
Then hold on. That shouldn't be a piece of that. You should be able to share. You should share audio as well as. Oh, no. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I know how to solve this. I do it all the time. I have a special program for it. Just give me like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Launchpad. Where are you at? Where are you, little friend? It's on my other thing, is it? Pardon me. If you want to do someone else first, and then we can go back on mine. Just give me a second, because like I want to be able to have sound come through this, and it's not that hard to do.
You're on mute.
Mike, can you share yours?
The thing is, I'm on my computer and the video is on my phone. I
Okay.
could open up my Instagram and share that on Chrome, I guess.
It's all good. Let me see why. Okay, let me go over here to Justice for Hire. 1 second. You know what? In the worst case, I'm going to share it right from the phone. I'm just going to point my phone at the screen. How about that? So it's going to work out just great.
Just if you guys didn't want to check out my video, I put it in the chat. Like I said, it's
I figured it out. Figured it out. Are we good? I got it.
You got it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, great.
The app.
Okay.
The client called me.
You could hear that, right?
Yep.
Awesome. All right.
Hey, Jan. Mission update. A little bit of issues I was having with the app. The client called me onto a mission to check on their house while they were on vacation. And I couldn't seem to find where it was at. Nothing too serious, but while I was on mission, the navigation seemed to be a little glitchy.
Recalculating. Your destination is 500 feet behind you. Recalculating. Your destination is 500 feet behind you. Recalculating. Recalculating. Your destination is 500 feet behind you.
It kept bringing me basically in circles.
Recalculating. 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 Your destination is 500 feet behind you.
I had a slight issue with it, but after a few tries, I seemed to work things out. This is it. I did end up finding a location. Not sure if it was the spot I was supposed to be at. Had maybe a hiccup. Or two.
This is the shot I was talking about.
Yeah, so if you could get back to me, that would be great. Hey, Jan.
Dude, I love that so much. And my only note, my main note the cameras on the pants on that, like that last shot before you hit the gong.
All right.
And if you were to use jump cuts, like rhythmic jump cuts, and when I say rhythmic, it depends on what platform you're using. Because if you're editing on like desktop software where you can count the frames,
Mhm.
I would recommend cutting like using the same number of frames to cut. So in other words, like cut 4 frames later, cut 4 frames later, cut, in terms of jump cutting within that shot to kind of keep a rhythm, or maybe doing like 4, 3, 2 to increase the tension. Because otherwise, like there's like an attention drop off because you're waiting for the payoff of the shot, and the payoff is you going boom like that.
Right.
But I think that that besides that, I like that the JFH logo at the end is all glitched up. Which is
Thanks.
great. That was a really beautiful little twist.
I was trying to use the asset that is in the hamburger menu on the app, and I found that it was only in 16:9. So instead of just having it show up like that, or me zooming in really close and being distorted that way, I thought I'll just layer them in 3 panels. So you have one in the middle, one at the top, one at the bottom, and like one is slightly bigger, like it's a little smaller, whatever. And yeah. So I was like, I had done that for, I think, the very last video I did as well. The commercial, the JFH commercial. I think I did for that one, yeah.
I'll export a vertical one too, so that the people who don't have that issue, because I've had that issue. I'm like, man, I got to make another vertical one. So I'll totally export one. Any notes, guys, for Guru?
Similar. I'd just say, I clearly have a bias here, but I would say, slightly faster pacing, where once you've made a joke, you want to let it breathe. You don't need to let it breathe too long, So if it were me, which, is not necessarily the way to go, but if it were me and I would make the exact same video, I would try to cut off maybe 20 seconds of it just for, keeping the pacing up, keeping the energy up, which isn't the universal style, but can work.
I think there's going to be like, it's kind of like a rap group here, right? Like, all the rappers kind of have, if you're all from Wu-Tang, you all kind of rap, like you all that they're from Wu-Tang, but they all have their own style within that. I think we're developing that. And so I think this is it's great that you have a similar, but also yet unique note on that. David, anything from you? Unless you're working, or if we're left in your car. I'm sure it's working out just fine.
You okay, David? Do we need a hero's help?
David might need a hero.
David needs a hero.
Okay, so let's jump to Mike. So Mike, let me. Could you DM the JFH account directly rather than because for some reason the group chats disappear and I don't know why.
You want me to pull that one up too?
Oh, if you could, please. If you could share Mike's, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. It's in our messages, right?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah. So like I said, this one's a bad export. Need to fix it. Came out kind of janky. It's weird. I use Video Leap, and usually they're pretty good, but sometimes I need to export something a couple times to make sure it comes out the way I want it.
I've had some, I love Video Leap, but I've also had some challenges where like some things won't export, like certain elements will just disappear in the export.
And sometimes TikTok doesn't like the files, which is really weird. They should be universal. But anyway, I'll fix that when we're done, but this will give you the concept. It's all there. It's just unpolished.
yeah.
Like a lot of the text shows up too early, which is an easy fix, but takes a minute.
Oh. Oop, that was the wrong group. Funny enough, it's a content team, and that was not our content team. is it not? This last one you sent us, it has sound, right?
No, that was part of the export. I had one with sound and one without, and they were both broken. So this one was less broken, so I went with this.
Got it. Okay, just making sure. And I was like, did my
Yeah.
computer stop again? Okay.
No, it's an export issue, which means I can fix it. Just I didn't catch it in time. I did this like around 5. So by the time it came for the meeting, I didn't do the due diligence and make sure that it was as
Right.
you know.
All right, here we go. That's funny. Oh. Don't do it. Jan, you're still on mute. Okay.
Yeah, this is great, man. This is another one of like the Sensei Klaus instructional videos, right?
Hell yeah.
Kind of more of a silly TikTok, but I thought it's kind of like a product review in a way, because it shows you these reusable boards, which are just a fun thing to have around.
So look, I'll say this, man. Like, I think this is perfect. Like, this is one of those videos where I really feel like it's like it's got a particular. It's really social friendly. I think it's super perfect in many ways. So I don't really have any notes for improving this cut, but I do think that one thing that I would like to see from Sensei Claus is, let's say, this exact video style, and then intercutting you actually doing the move on a bad guy, and like literally just like with no context at all. Like maybe the guy's got like a purse in his hand or a wallet, or is like trying to, doing something to somebody, and you're just going up to him and just going, and it cuts right back to you doing this. And I think that could be an interesting thing to play with your formula, because one of the things that we really haven't seen, aside from the scene that we shot in New York, which is still more so Sensei Claus like around the neighborhood, rather than like actually on a mission. Like, we haven't seen you on missions per se, except of course handing out to the homeless. But I'm talking about like actiony missions. It'd be super dope to just see you do one of these moves on somebody and just go like, I think that'd be great. So that's my note. I think this video itself as a solid piece is perfect in my opinion.
All right, cheers. So,
of course, also having not seen the sound, I didn't see the sound, but I would assume.
So there's a quick voiceover to begin with, and the sound, I wasn't sure if I would go with a voiceover or more just music. I was thinking I'd do one of each and see what I liked better, but I didn't get any sound anyway, so it's kind of a moot point until I fix this.
Oh, so you got no sound at all?
Like I said, it was an export issue.
Okay. Okay.
So I had a voiceover and I had a music, like 2 different versions, but if I'm not exporting sound at all, I figure I'll fix it up, see kind of like we were talking last time about having titles in the video. So I was thinking, do a voiceover version, do a music version, like one Instagram, one TikTok, kind of a split style.
Well, I think one Instagram, one TikTok, that's great. I mean, I know that Guru, I think the first time I saw your video, I only saw the 1-minute version, and I thought that was it. And I was like, man, that's amazing. It left me wanting more, and then I was like, oh my God, there's another version, and I would think of it this way. I think it's to not make too much work for yourself. Like, I would think about what goes on the JFH app first, and then like repurpose that for social. And like, cause this is the kind of stuff that like seeing it on the JFH app is the kind of thing that's going to inspire like folks to create more. Like the both of these clips that you guys made are like, are very creatively like strong-willed. It's like, this is what this video is about, and you could feel it. And there's confidence in that. And watching a creator like you guys, like empowers somebody else to be more confident too. So, I would just think of it that way. Like, I don't want you to spend more time like trying to think about how do I do this for Instagram? How do I do this for TikTok? Just like think about doing it for the app, and put it on, please put it on the app first too, so I can always download this and be able to potentially intercut in certain scenes. But I think it's great, guys. I mean, like, any notes, Guru?
Actually, funny enough, my note was going to be similar to yours, that you had brought up about, like, I would love to see intercut you using it on, a bad guy, or to see Sensei Claus in action, because there's a lot there that I'm like, dude, you're funny, you got good moves, like, let's take down some bad guys. But no, I I like this particular video. I don't think, I was trying to think about like anything to like up it. Yeah, no, the cuts were clean. They were quickly paced, which I thought was really good. It's playing off of that one that we did, the two second beats, like you're just hitting them with the and getting the joke in, like it works perfectly. And even if you added a scene with you doing an interchange scene or intercut scene with you using the move on a bad guy, you wouldn't have to take more than the same 2 seconds. You just see it. And like, even when you got to the nope, it'd be like, nope, forget it. Like, keep going, like you can play it up a little bit with what you have. A sound recommendation, I would say, if you're gonna, I know we're not making them geared towards TikTok and towards Instagram, but the style of video that you're trying to do, much like, you and I chose different styles of videos to do, I feel like if you found like an instructional video or something like that on TikTok, something that is similar to what, basic flavor of what it is you're doing, you can see some of the sounds that are being used under that like that space, just to kind of get like, maybe I can add this music, maybe you can have that, just so that it feels like it'll pop, like it's something that'll just slide right into that world, into that universe, specifically showing said product and whatnot. Yeah, I think that was it. But otherwise, yeah, there's nothing really like cut this here, try doing that next. I like it, man. It looks great.
Well, thanks. I'll look into that. So the thing with the getting more people involved is, in New York, people always like to reschedule and all that. So what I should really do is find somebody that will want to kind of trade on this, like say, Ruben's in New Jersey, so maybe I know Juice or Vintage or somebody, where we could just be the bad guy in the other guy's video.
Totally. Because I was thinking of something similar, like, especially as we were traveling and whatnot right now. Like, I know I'm currently in Chicago. But like, I know as like that's happening, we can totally be able to help each other out in each other's videos. Like, I would say they're like, we'd be hidden Easter eggs, but like, you saw me in one of my videos, I literally was me in a wig and some glasses. So I totally get you on not having people all the time, especially for scheduling and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I second that. We should totally like find spaces where we can meet up and things like that. I know you're all the way in Jersey, or you're in New York.
Yeah.
Which borough? Brooklyn, right?
I'm in Brooklyn, but so it's not so much when you're in New York finding people. You can find people. The trick is getting a hold of them.
True.
Yeah.
So I'll say this: we do have a lot of heroes in Chicago, apparently. So you know, if you have time, and throw that shout out on the app, say, "Hey, I'm gurus in Chicago." I'd be interested to see what the reaction would be. There's been a bunch of folks in Chicago and in Illinois in general, especially in the last 2 months. Interestingly enough, maybe 3 months, but so. I think this is really, really successful session, guys. Like I think this is I think I like this groove, this creative groove of like really giving thoughtful responses to each other's creativity. So what are you guys thinking for like this week leading up to next week? Oh,
Sorry, I was already thinking about it. And I was just waiting for you to ask the question. I was thinking we could go along with what you were saying before of having us do a product video. I want to chat with you afterwards about something, but because I was like, I want to bring it as a surprise to the rest of the crew. Anyway, I think it'd be cool if we could do a product, like a video specifically, you know, showcasing that we have a product, we have our own scene, we have whatever's going on, like something that I don't even have to be that long, like just it engages you enough so you can showcase and show a unique way that, you know, how you utilize the product. Right now, like I was thinking, the only thing I could think of in my head is Nikes, because I got Nike shoes. I know some people got Nike pants. I know some people use sweatbands, a towel, like a sticker, like, but it's a Nike product that like you could point to and be like, oh, snap, you know, like that, like, wow, they made a commercial based off of this, and it felt like it still fit in the universe. Obviously, you know, we have different ways of going about it, so it'll have our own little funk on it. Mute.
I'm totally down to do like if I think last time Sensei, you don't have Nike, right? Do you have Nike anything?
No, I've got all kinds of weird junk, but not Nike.
How about David? Do you have Nike anything? Oh, hold on, can't hear you. You're on mute. We were hearing a bunch of static before.
Oh, my bad. I'm driving. Sorry, but yeah, I do.
Be safe. Okay, yes, you do. Okay.
All right.
So we need to get Sensei something Nike. Well, what would you wear that would be Nike?
As the character, I mean, basically anything. He's a comedy character, so it doesn't really matter, you know?
Ooh, you know what might be really interesting for you as a martial artist? Nike shoelaces. And like put somebody down.
Like
do it. Yeah. Do it. That sounds really funny, especially coming from Sensei Claus. Like he just pulls up on somebody, pulls out like you pull it out and it shows Nike on the shoelaces and you grab it.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Because they definitely have shoelaces that at the very least, if it's not on the shoelace itself, it's on the wrapper of the shoelace. And if you only had one shot to do it, you could rip off the wrapper in the shot where it says Nike. You just open it up, take out the shoelace, and like you literally, if there's a bad guy, if I were doing that here, and then the camera reveals the bad guy, like the flowers are like in the foreground. Like, you literally like rip it open, pull back, show the guy, and then like, move around and pull back. Oh, I mean, I think that'd be hilarious.
Another idea, what if I used a pair of Nike shoelaces to make some nunchucks?
That's also great. That's also fantastic. I'm just checking to see if Nike shoelaces
that goes
on Amazon right now.
because that goes along with what you already do as far as your character. You're making makeshift, you know, exercise equipment, training equipment, you know, weapons.
Not so much the weapons in New York. You get in big trouble for that here. But
Oh,
equipment, yes.
right.
Nunchucks became legal like 2 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. They don't have that same rule here.
Oh, Chicago's got its own stuff, but I think New York's kind of.
Oh, I meant California. So I forgot where I was at for like 2 seconds.
California definitely had nunchucks for a while.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's legal there now, but they definitely banned them in like the 90s.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody want a pair of nunchuck.
Check that out.
Hey, look at that. Nike brand laces. Look at
It's not going to say Nike on the actual lace itself, but if you were to use this and then like I said, rip it open and then construct your nunchucks, that could, I mean, however you can get that logo in there. Let me see that they're like $30 though on like there's like $6 ones, and then neither of them have any like, you know, there's no real difference that I know of, aside from maybe like, you know, some factory quality. Let me check Nike.com and see if Amazon's just upselling it.
sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, at
Also-
a certain point, what if I just threw the Nike swoosh on a stick, you know?
Well, I think we should really look at this as a proof of concept for a brand. Like us having this done well and done with reverence for the product, whatever the product is going to show potential brand sponsors that we will treat their product with the same reverence. And so I think that there's a big value here in, you know, us doing what we do. And like, I think we need to figure out like what the script is going to be like how could we tie together cohesively? Like the only thing that's popping in my head is there's got to be a systemic problem. So the only way remote content creation really works, from my perspective, is that a systemic problem needs to be handled simultaneously from multiple angles. And the systemic problem needs to be solved. So we all need to be taking action toward the systemic problem to solve it together, utilizing Nike products. So I'm wondering what that would be like. Like, is it as simple as ninjas? Like, are like, I'm totally down to fight some ninjas. I'll have Autumn dress up as a ninja. All right. Be great. I'm really ninja getting beaten up.
Sorry.
I was so tired the next day. We still didn't put that out. We gotta put that out.
Yeah, no, we're still piecing the other parts together. Yes. Yeah, that'll be out soon. I think along the lines with what you were saying, I thought, Creator, were you trying to say something? No, I'll take that as a no. Never mind. All right. Huh?
I thought I heard him too.
Okay. I thought that was just me. I'm like, I must be just hearing things.
Creator, if you have anything to add, the mic is open for you. But please focus on safety first.
I said I want to fight ninjas.
I want to find ninjas. Let's all fight some ninjas.
Then let's do it.
Okay.
This will have to be this. I mean, this will have to be like a really interesting like tie-in. Like this is. I foresee this just being awesome and hilarious in various ways because it's going to be at like the combination of the different styles of us. It's man, it's glorious. Wow, gold.
One thing we may want to reference is Power Rangers.
Yes.
Like the way that they talk to each other through helmet, etc. They're like,
or in the Zords.
Yeah.
It's morphin' time.
So I mean, like if I'm thinking in universe, like the way heroes would be communicating, you know, at this point in the timeline is like running around with the phone and talking to folks like through the phone. Obviously, like maybe you have headphones in and then you can do that, etc. But somehow we're like recording. The responsibility in the storyline of a JFH hero is to go on a mission, but also to be able to have visual evidence of your behavior and your conduct while on that mission. So I think that you know, if we can incorporate, hey, app is on, communicating with people maybe through wireless or through the phone itself, and also handling the problem simultaneously, which might mean that, you know, this ninja right here who I'm talking to is saying, hey, look, I'm a JFH hero, I need you to back up. And then he like attacks me and I'm like, ah, and I hit him with the phone. I'm like, guys, the ninjas are all attacking all at once. Like, it's getting crazy out here in LA. And you're like,
in like the middle of it, it's like, well, good thing I have these Nike brand shoes. Wow, step down, Air Force Ones, and then I get in there. Or, well, I have just the thing. You have just the thing, and they point down to you point the camera down to the shoelaces. You see your hand grabbing it, and then you wrap it up, tie it up, make it into nunchucks. You're like, I've got this.
Dude, even the swoosh, like doing a swoosh sound effect with a kick, like you're about to get swooshed.
Doing it, not even just a swoosh sound effect, but like a swoosh kick. So like a whoosh.
Yes, and maybe even writing the word swoosh on the screen.
Yes. Come on, guys, just do it.
Oh, who's gonna be the ninjas?
That's the trick. Is filling these kinds of things out.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, just do it.
You're right.
Before that, if we're going to be making videos like that, that we could double as villains or whatever in other people's videos, especially if we don't show our faces.
I don't mind being a ninja. I won't show my face.
Well, you're in Staten Island, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in Brooklyn. So that's potential meetup. And
what's his face? Vintage is in the city.
Yeah.
And what's his face?
Juice?
Tai Chi Wonder Jersey. He's like 30 from me.
So I mean, I think it's really important though, creator, that you are like the We See creator, like, you know, do some action. Like, yeah, I think it's super important. Even if it's just like block somebody with your shield, push them off the shield. Especially after you took that elbow to the face from the UFC fighter Brendan Weaver. We need some visual redemption.
Yeah, we can work on that. And my suit, I can easily move in, so it's not going to be too much of a hassle.
Okay, so I'm trying to think about like what is the most dynamic thing we can do? What do you guys think that does anyone want? I mean, we can workshop a script, or does anyone want to take a stab at like a script of 1, 2, 3? There's 4 of us, 4 locations. Let's focus on the 4 of us as core, and anybody else who can make a cameo in it is great. But does anyone want to take a stab at script? I could also take a stab at script, but does anyone like feel massively inspired to?
I mean, I'm down, but actually, what I would love to do is if whoever else wants to do it, like maybe we collab. Like maybe if no one else wants to, I'm down to collab with just you, Jan. Like if you don't want to have a hand in it, just so that we each understand each other's little flair to it, and that we can give face to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel, I don't mind taking a stab at it to get like a potential feel out, you know, because I don't want our styles to, you know, like clash, if that makes sense.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Like Sensei Claus could be comedic, and I'm serious, and it doesn't flow right, if that makes sense. You know? Like you want like a good chemistry of like, let's say like the Teen Titans, you know? Yeah. They balance each other out. You don't want nobody like overpowering, or you don't want nobody, you know, downplaying themselves, because it doesn't sell in a sense, you know?
Right. Right.
One way to look at it is that any piece of content we create is a piece of music, and that each one of us is an instrument, and what note are we playing for that particular piece of content. And so if we want to simplify it and make the collaboration process easier, it's like, okay, well, who's got this type of tone for this script this time? It doesn't necessarily mean that we always have to stay in that type of tone. I think that the Avengers movies pull it off really, really well, because you have these very dynamic characters who in their own films showcase a slew of emotional experiences, etc., reactions, but in the ensemble piece, they are playing a particular note. And they might have, in a general ensemble film, it would, for example, C-3PO in Star Wars, I was just looking at that like early this morning, like he's got so many of the same notes where he's essentially complaining to R2 and they're bickering back and forth, and that's their thing. But in the Marvel films, they've done a wonderful job of being able to encapsulate so much more dynamism within the instrument of that one character for one film. So so we can aspire to that, but I think right now we can just play it simple and say, okay, well, Sensei's going to have this tone, Guru's going to have this tone, Jan's going to have that tone, Kriya's going to have this tone, and that's something that I'll share a Google Doc right now, and we can all just start collaborating on it. But like, does anyone want to take like the first stab at it?
So real quick, before we get to that, if we're using Marvel as an example, I haven't seen most of the movies, but one thing I noticed in my favorite, take care, David. So if you guys have seen Thor Ragnarok, it's very comedic.
Oh,
Yeah. But what's really interesting about that one is it's Thor's movie, then kind of the Hulk's, but other characters who come and go in it have their own flavor put into that movie. Best example is probably Doctor Strange in it for about 2 minutes, where in his own movies, he's a very serious, complex character, and in Thor, he's sort of this weird, janky comic character who mostly just messes with him and sends him on his way. So the thing is if well done, certain characters, if they're, the main character versus if they're supporting cast, can be true to themselves while having a very different feel.
Totally.
So example here is Sensei Claus and his own stuff is supposed to be outright comedic, but I was thinking if he's ever collaborating, other people's reading him could be just kind of weird and annoying, because the guy who is, funny if you like him might just be, everyone's got a friend like that, they're your friend, they're great, everyone else hates them for the exact same reasons you like them.
funny.
So
Well,
that kind of thing can absolutely play. Not saying we'll get into it this time, but
You can't discredit though, like you being able to have your own flavor in it. So that's one thing. I don't think our styles will clash, really, honestly, because if you get down to it, we each share something. We each have overlapping usages, things like that. Like we, between martial arts, between spirituality, between comedy, between all of these things, because I don't know if you noticed, but my last video was supposed to be comedic, like
I had no idea.
no idea, right? It escapes you. So like, but most of my videos outside of like Guru Tang for the challenge had been very serious, very, very like not like dark serious, but like, straightforward and full of action, right? Then the next ones I decide to make are a little bit more comedic and a little more levity, because my character isn't just one direction. As when I'm done with my short film that I'm making for Guru, you'll know his origin, his real origin, and why he is the way he is. And you'll get to see the multi-levels and facets of him, from, his Deadpool-like playfulness. So it's not necessarily like he's like a merc with a mouth, so he's always talking and smart talk. Like it's just more of like comedy. You look at him, he's serious. He's spiritual. He's grounded, but he's also a little like don't do that. You scared me, or I'm gonna run away from a dog frantically. The rest of the thing, like the rest of the recording, it was like, good doggy, sit back home, go back home. But I cut those pieces out, it's the start of that. So like you and I could share something like that in there. So there's a good flow to it. And with that saying of, I don't mind giving it a first run through and first crack at it, of kind of like piecing together what are the individual things. Cause you said we're going to start off like a Power Rangers-esque, where we're on a mission, we're on an app, and this thing is happening. The ninjas are attacking, they're everywhere. Like we could have it start off with you sparking the entire thing, and then like I'll think a little bit more on this, but then like we can just flow into each of us, and there would be a fun way we can just interchange each of the scenes and show like one, like I know how do I explain this? Do you want one video together, or you want 4 separate videos?
I think that we should, I love everything you're saying. And I think one video together, one script written, if I feel like there's a way for us to think of this where each one of us producing a piece of content or taking shots on our own should beget 4 separate videos that can work together
and interchangeable. Cool.
But then cut together as one. And I think that the way to achieve that is actually just writing one script and knowing that from that one script, Sensei
4
might
videos come out of it.
Yeah, like we're each going to shoot our own content. We'll pull it together, but you might say like, for my story in my piece, I might need this extra shot. So I'm going to get this extra shot. And then like I can compile like all the videos together and cut something that would be like, essentially the thing that we would show to brands. But I also think that on another side, so there's 3 prongs here. One is that there's one video that's all united. 2 is that each one of the footage can live on its own. And then 3 is that united piece should also be canonical. Like that's the true next level. Like the true next level is like, hey, we didn't just do a branded sponsor experience. We did a branded sponsor experience that actually ties directly in, that is essentially product placement for this particular universe event in our narrative timeline. And so the universe event, if we choose ninjas, which is I think the cheapest, lowest hanging fruit like thing that we're actually doing in the story, I think the value there is that we actually don't have many scenes right now, except for Guru. I mean, like I think you might actually be the only scene that we have of, like, we shot stuff with ninjas in New York, but we didn't shoot like really hardcore fight scenes. And we shot a fight scene with.
We shot a fight scene, yeah.
And I think that we should see more of that. And I think it'd be really dope to if any of us can just get a friend to play a ninja, and whether you're in an apartment or you're in a hallway or you're in a someplace that's private, be able to throw 1 to 3 techniques and say a line of dialogue. Like being able to throw 1 to 3 techniques and say a line of dialogue can allow us to be like, hey, it's happening right now. Like that cut to, I know it's happening. I'm running over here. I'm jumping over here. Like to be able to just do something like that and still showcase the product while we utilize these techniques.
Yes. Okay. So with all of that, now that I have a clear picture, I know what direction we can go.
You want me to put that on the like write those four things?
Yes, please. And we also go for it. Write it right at the top.
Hit. Beats to hit. 1, a video that lives on its own. All heroes. Each hero have their own videos, their own stories. that can result in separate in standalone videos. It's a brand. In our narrative timeline and showcases product. Highlights product.
Can you read that one more time?
I'm gonna put this as number one. Highlights product number one.
Yeah.
So beats to hit is video highlights product, video that lives on its own with all heroes in one story. Each hero can have their own stories that result in standalone videos. And oh, hi Jan. I was like, what is like? I'm like, what did I write here? Hi Jan leaves.
that was me. I was waiting for you to see it.
And let's see, lives on our narrative timeline. So lives in JFH universe narrative timeline.
Okay.
I'll
With
put
those
ninja event.
I need each of you to let me know your Nike product you're going to use. Obviously, Sensei, I know that yours is. I know what mine and yours are.
There we go.
That way, I know how to flow it in.
Okay, so Sensei, I'm putting shoelaces, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and what are you using?
shoes.
I'll probably use shoes too, because I think that.
Let's find out what David is going to use, and if he has a shoe product, I think we should stick with that. We should stick with that theme. That way, it's we're showing different ways to utilize their products, or that we utilize their product and showcase it. So it's like you got the shoes, well, you also got the laces, or you also got the polish, or whatever it is, like the things that go together. And if not, then that's totally fine. I can figure out something else to tie us all together, like his laces.
Oh wow! Look at you. We'll call those bars.
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 Spitting hot fire, man.
Dude, guys, thank you so much for this great session today. Is there anything that you guys think that we can do to improve upon what we did today?
Yeah. So with what we were talking before about collaborating more, especially with this thing, I was thinking the very least we can do is make a mission on the app that would just be like collaborate, find other heroes you can partner with for videos. Like, I was thinking there could be something that we could call in the future, like villain trading, where, again, if I need a villain for one of my videos, I can be a villain for somebody else's, just put on a ski mask. It's pretty easy. So I was thinking the very least we can do is put something like that in the app, then maybe take it to socials and encourage people to, in pro wrestling terms, job for each other.
Job for each other?
Truth. Yeah.
So in pro wrestling, I don't watch, but I really like the terminology. A jobber is a wrestler who is not really a star, but works there, and the implication is that jobbers tend to lose. So if you're jobbing, you're losing that match. We know it's pro wrestling, that's not real. So it's not supposed to be a bad thing. Like, if you're a jobber, it's making you the worst wrestler, you're just losing. Oh, sorry. If you're a jobber for life, you probably are. But if you're jobbing that match, then you're just, losing that match. And again, it's not even the same, because if we're pretending different characters, like if I can be a villain in somebody else's video, I'm probably not going to be Sensei Claus. I'm going to wear a cheap leather jacket and a ski mask or something,
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should really encourage people to do that kind of thing where, you meet up, You each help the other guy do, you and the other guy each do a video. So that way, if there's something that isn't tracked, like you guys were saying before, that you wanted me to do more videos with other people. Well, the easiest way to make sure I get somebody else, again, like say Juice, is if I do something for him. That way it's even. We each get something done.
So you say something really, really, really powerful, because I'm writing this down
Okay.
in character. Because what it sounds like to me when I think about the long-term vision for the ecosystem is that this is more of a category of content rather than a single piece of content. Of course, we need to start somewhere with a single piece of content. But the intention with, and we still need to train the community with this, the intention for missions is to be presented as in-character experiences. So, but then out of character in the description, it should be listed as the category of, this is a trading villains category, or jobbing. This is the jobbing category. Like I love jobbing. I didn't know about this, so thank you for educating me. But like there should be a whole.
Pro wrestlers have a lot of great terms. Even if you don't like pro wrestling, the lexicon is terrific.
Yeah, I gotta pull this. I'm gonna pull it out right now, because I like between Ragdoll, she just did her first JFH. So what Ragdoll has proposed to be a part of the content team is to create her own pro wrestling prediction videos, and then say, if you have a problem with me, find me on JFH. Like one of the things that she's doing, and I bought this book that I need to read, which is as you can see, it's a comic book, graphic novel about the history of pro wrestling.
Nice.
And so it has all the terminology and stuff like that. And I only got it because I was like, I need to learn. And then of course, I was thinking about it for a while. And then like the author happened to be doing a signing day that we were like picking up some comics. I was like, I should probably get this. He's a nice guy. He went to NYU. I should probably get this.
So he's a controversial figure these days, but Max Landis made a YouTube video called "Wrestling Isn't Wrestling." You'd probably want to start with that.
I will do it again. I was not in a place in my life where I could absorb pro wrestling when he made that video. And,
no, it's not. Again, I never watched pro wrestling. I like documentaries about it and that kind of thing. But again, what's interesting to me is the craft of it, the putting on the show. But wrestling isn't wrestling. Sorry.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I have an immense amount of respect for it as a stunt performer experience. Like the fact that they do that stuff live is insane and amazing. But like as a martial artist, when I was a kid, I was like, well, that's not real, so why would I watch it?
Yeah, so Wrestling Isn't Wrestling is not actually about pro wrestling. It's a kind of like a weird 20-minute pseudo documentary.
More resonant words from you.
It's hard to describe it, but I think you'd really like it. There are a lot of weird celebrity cameos in there, like the Mythbusters and that kind of thing. It's fun. You'd like it.
Thanks. I'll dive in. I'm gonna dive in with this first. Guru, I see your hand up.
Of course, no, I love that. That's I'm gonna have to check it out. Mythbusters, you said the right words. Something that has been like coming back and again and again and again and again is what I'm starting to do. I was actually using this last video that I made to showcase the concept of what I was talking about. So has everyone seen Modern Family? Have you seen the TV show? Yeah, the sitcom. Yes. Okay, so my take was to make a Modern Family style video for Guru. That's essentially what I was doing. As I was sitting down, I was kind of telling you what had happened, taking you through the episode of what had happened. And the idea of that being able to take on different types of show styles and things like that, and giving a space. I think you and I talked about this before, Jim, about giving a space or giving a space to help other heroes within the app, who are struggling to figure out the style of like shows they want to make, the style they want to tell their story, of giving them like a place or a template or things that they can like choose from so that they can fall into that a little bit easier. Do you have a documentary style, like storytelling method? Do you have this pseudo comedy style storytelling method? Do you have like because when you said originally there's a concept that Ragdoll had about pro wrestling, immediately the first thing that popped in my head was Glow. And I was like, yo, it would be super dope if like she starts this like world of other like wrestling heroes, and you get to see like what the rivalries are, what the villain like stuff is like. So I was starting to see those things popping up. Again, not necessarily what she's going for, and I think her idea is dope. So like that's not all like, I don't think she should pivot. I like that. But if to take and make something that essentially can create technically an infinite amount of content for people. You have, like where it's something that people can plug and play into. They understand this is like the universe, or not the universe. This is like the style of storytelling. So this is how I'll go about it. If it's a Modern Family one, I know I have to have something happen, but I also have to kind of give a comedic, interview narration of like, oh yeah, well this happened. I didn't think it was that bad. Like I ran into, like I had a little hiccup or two. Help. Something along those lines to give each of us a little flavor. But that was just kind of the thought, because I thought it'd be great if we had a program within our system where they could meet up. I had said, like, I don't even mind. I would love to like sit down, team up with you, Jan, because like this is part of what I'm doing in the background, like I'm working on television shows and stuff like that, and working on building that kind of like system of things. And so like I feel like if we're offering skills as like a community and this, that, and the third, I think it'd be a cool idea to have a place for heroes to go to say like, hey, I don't know what kind of style, I don't know what I want to do. They give us it's like an addition to the development calls. You know what I mean? Like having the development call, hearing what the hero is about, hearing where they want to go with it, and then giving them like options to say, hey, see if you like this style, see if you like this style, and then we'll pick one, and then they'll go from there. Here's the template for this. Have fun, like be creative. Because I think if we're creating, as a community, then I think we could really create as a community. Yeah.
I will 1000%. My yawn is because I've only had 2.5 hours of sleep.
I know I'm boring you, Jan.
No. I mean, like genre-based templated editing is something that like we've talked about for several years, and want to have technology that helps do that. But I think that one of the things that you brought up that I think is really more in the spirit of ReelwUrld than simply the technology, which obviously is actually very dynamic. It's not simple at all. Is like the spirit of like, from a directorial like standpoint, how do you create this genre style? And it's not simply editing. Like, for example, a month ago, maybe Video Leap launched templates. And so now it's like a social network of editing templates. The one thing that seems like there's left out, I need to test it myself, but like, I'm like, hold on, like how, like just simply having a template is not really like what you need. You actually need to know what goes inside the template, and that the nuance of what goes inside the template per shot, per performance, per emotion is like a part of, what we've been contemplating for a long time with ReelwUrld. So I think that in the same spirit of, hey, we started JFH before we had an app. Well, why don't we start like genre guidance, like, hey, you know what, try this style, this template, take this shot. It might be like that type of guidance in addition to the development calls, or maybe it's looped into the development calls where it's like, hey, you know what, we're talking to you about this, here's a formula, try it out on this mission. And now we have missions that are associated to particular like genre styles or challenges that are associated with
even that though too, because like I plan on modeling more of different styles of genres and stuff, like as I continue to create. Like it was just going to be kind of a surprise, but I was like, yeah, fuck. But like, you know, like just so that it, you know, you can see that you could take on any of these missions that get popped up and said, hey, there's a mission, help your neighborhood. Well, maybe you have a little bit more, like maybe there's like there's a way you can, you know, patrol your neighborhood in this genre or this genre. Maybe you have a documentary team
Absolutely.
following you, or maybe you're a you're in front of a live studio audience, and you know it's like a outside, and you have the set, like it's just set up in this space, and all the things are kind of transpiring, you know, and you're like the neighborhood, hey neighbor, and you like wave over to them, like, and giving a voice to everyone to be able to do to feel like they can input in this and not feel like it's such a narrow scope, so that they're like, oh, I can only choose these missions because it's this style, you know. But it gives them more of like like I could choose this style for this mission, you know, like yeah.
Guys, I think it's, I love that. I think that since you're already doing that, you know, if that's like, it's going to be Ragdoll's thing in a similar way that like instructional videos right now, like martial arts instructional videos are very much Sensei's thing, you know.
Yes.
like Ragdoll, her thing is taking on these prediction videos, and like Gura, if your thing is going to be genre, like showcasing how many genres you can live in and still be part of the JFH universe, I think that's an awesome angle to be taking on your content. So I think that's fantastic. I mean, it's totally, each one of these is a model, wonderful example and representation of what we're really about, which is essentially, like you said, everybody's voice matters in this thing. And so,
Totally.
So I mean, thank you guys. Like this is
I
huge
did have
deal.
visual something to share. I want to show with y'all. Done by a wonderful artist and friend of mine. Was working with me in my business, but oh, crap. Where's my face? There's my face.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on, let me see if I can.
That full screen.
Let me see if I can take her off the virtual background.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Wow.
His name is Matthew Kim. Actually, you can check him out on Instagram. I believe he have more than Instagram. He's got his own website too. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Matthew Kim, MKI Mart. So MKI Mart. So M Kim Art. And he has a whole slew of things, and you can also check him out on mjkimportfolio.com. And he has like a whole slew of things on there. But yeah.
Dude, I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. And
thank you.
It's yeah, man, we gotta get you hopefully everything with this this partnership, when we re-clarify, like sometimes I get so exhausted it's like hard to like clarify what needs to be clarified. And but you know, I want to make sure that we can get this partnership of the Doppel partnership really clarified, so that we can get you scanned as soon as possible, because like that's an action figure. You know, it's such a dope action figure. So thank you guys so much. I'm gonna run and teach a Tai Chi class. But I think it's a huge deal. And so for this week, we'll do the thunderclap. We'll figure out. Let's who in the community like can we boost out? If there's any ideas, let's find someone to like give a shout out to. And maybe it's Dream. Dream is somebody. Dream Soul. I feel like he's somebody that like actually adds a lot to the community, but stays kind of behind the scenes. He shoots for Vintage. He shoots for Creator. He shoots for Tai Chi Wonder. Like he shot a lot of stuff. shot for Max Chen, and he's a JFH hero, but he's kind of like he doesn't say too much. I mean, sometimes he'll come on our app tests. So let's give him a shout out, and I'll share his handle. And what else?
Give us a piece of content to share too as well.
Awesome.
Like a picture, video, or something.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll give you a specific one.
Something, yeah, something good about him.
Yeah, I'll give you something really specific. And what else? Yeah, let's focus this week on the script. I mean, of course, don't let me stop you from jumping on a mission or challenge, but let's focus this week on the script. And
we should dedicate 2 weeks to this so that we clear, so it's not like we're all rushing to get it in on Monday. So like, because it's gonna take the four of us getting it in.
Yeah, I think that we should take this week, solidify a script. By next week, we should all agree on the script and finalize it on this next video. And then we should shoot that next week and be ready to, like, you know, like by hopefully by the weekend, everyone submitted their shots, and then I can cut it together into a full piece that we can review on that Monday. That would be amazing.
Fantastic.
So please let us know once you've cranked out like your first pass of like the script or story, whatever you consider your first pass, whether that's like a script or a treatment or a summary, whatever it is, just let us know and we'll jump in.
Cool. I'm going to start with an outline, and then I'm going to do a scene per scene outline.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'll let y'all know as soon as I'm done with that first. And then if y'all want to throw hands in it and just like whatever, throw hands. You know, everybody wants to dip a toe in. I think that's cool.
This just keeps getting better and better. So,
Take care.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. And of course, everybody who watches this, justiceforhire.app to join the cast, wefunder.com/ReelwUrld, ReelwUrld to invest in the company, and check us out on Doppel, DOPPL.com. Say Justice for Hire, you get 20% off. But join our cast first. Come on now. Okay. We love you guys. Thanks, guys, so much. And